morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kurojiri, your resident tinkerer and Medarotter, and this is the Medarot News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet fighting robot series. Well, as you saw, we are yet in the throes of yet another collaboration, but this time not with any particular outside series, but within the realm of Medarot itself as a universe. This time around, to celebrate the very final episode of Medarot Damashii, or Spirits as you may better know it as, airing on the official YouTube channel, we will be undergoing another anime collaboration. This time with currently only one Medarot model, the prototype or anime version of Black Beetle, and 4 different Medarotters over the course of this event going into late next month. So, and might I say, just before we do get started, looking over the rough skill stats and everything for this new variant of Black Beetle, this is probably going to be the nastiest anime variant collaboration model that we've seen to date. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what was officially announced for this week, starting of course with the gacha banners and who to expect. Now, of course, with the collaboration, we are getting the highlighted model pretty much right at start, and that is KBT-05F Black Beetle A, with a completely brand new kit across the board of Missile A2, Rifle A2, Gatling A2, biped legs, and a leg ability of Lead Foot. Now, in a rather shocking turn of events too, this model is also capable of transforming, much like the commercial version of Black Beetle currently in-game. This version, however, exchanged its kit for a mostly new kit as well, with a kit of Hyper Missile A, Rifle A2, Gatling A2, Tank Legs, and Unshakable. Now, just to give you an idea of just how nasty this particular version of Black Beetle is, Rifle A2 is basically now the shooting version of Sword A from Rokusho A, which is ignoring damage, defense ignore, and also a 50% damage bonus when breaking parts and piercing. And Gatling A2 in particular is just as nasty as a shooty version of Cross Shot, which is scatter hit, high success, and sure hit on top of that, but also with the defense ignore, much like any other skill that Black Beetle A has at her disposal. And her leg ability of Lead Foot is just as nasty as well. Basically, for every part broken, her heat and cool stats do go progressively higher, up to 5 stacks. Unshakable also will greatly increase her shooting and melee resist while she's in heat phase, making it a lot harder for people to break or even damage her, with already rather staggering damage reduction at her disposal. Might I say, this one's probably going to be a particularly nasty model, like I said, through the course of the anime collaboration models we've seen to date, and there's no real telling if we're going to be seeing any others over the course of this collaboration, or any others or any other models, or even if they're being considered. But just starting off on the right foot, Black Beetle A is most certainly going to be very, very aggressive and a well-loved attacker on any female team that you do put her on. Now, to kind of highlight the boosted rates that are going alongside Black Beetle A, we are also getting the first-time rerun of KBT-05M Saikachi's C, the crafty mode version, with a kit of Missile C, Rifle C, Gatling C, biped legs, and Momentum, which also can transform into a multi-pedal tank form with a kit of Meta Sprayer, Rail Gun, Max Vulcan, Multi-Legs, and Bloby. And in a rather surprising turn of events, they're also highlighting Black Stag at KWG-05F, which I find rather unique in the sense that Black Stag never once showed up in the anime in favor of, say, Dorcas, but I have a feeling they might be saving him for something just a little farther down the line, given how collabs usually tend to air out. Black Stag has a kit of Stat Cleanse, Sword, Hammer, biped legs, and a leg ability of Through Fight. She also is capable of transforming into an air-based form with a kit of Trap Clear, Sword, Hammer, Flight Legs, and Straight. Now, I'm going to be completely real with you going forward. As nice as these models are, and as rather deadly as Black Beetle A is, I am going to give you the fair warning that all 3 of the models being posted this week are meta change capable. And as a friendly reminder, the gacha banners for those kind of bots is rather unforgiving and rather different. To explain, when it comes to gacha banners, with any other kind of pickup model, you have a chance to collect the whole set or a piece of them at any given time while their banner is up, with boosted rates getting just a little bit higher of a likelihood compared to their regular rates. Meta change models, on the other hand, do not behave by this rule, because you can't transform if you don't have all the sets. So with these kind of banners, you either collect the entire set at once, or you get nothing at all. Just a fair warning going forward with this, just in case you are unaware, or if you are new to the game and hoping to collect on this particularly nasty anime-style version. With the fierce battles we have going on this week, it's going to be another mixed variety of skills and leg types, and I'm actually kind of surprised that they didn't dump a whole bunch of Medarot Spirit's well-known versions that we did have fierce battles for thus far. But like I said, they might be spreading those out. This week, we're going to be seeing a Spearhead of TND-0 Tank Dunk with Napalm, Missile, Gatling, Tank Legs, and Bullet Rain. APL-01 Top Gunner with Radar Sight, Double Missile, Flight Legs, and Aim. And MDZ-0 Meduzard at Freeze, Sword, Counter Guard, Multi-Legs, and P-Loader. On this bottom row, we have GRM-0 Wild Ukon with Rifle, Double Hammer, Biped Legs, and Radiator. SPR-0 Blue Corundum with Optic Guard, Press, Beam, Sea Legs, and Brilliance. And last but not least, SCB-0 Kana Bun Bun with Triple Bug, Multi-Legs, and Spearhead. Now, honestly, all 6 of these models here, I'm not going to say are, like, above tier or, say, better than others, because, frankly, all fierce battles are kind of in the same vein. There's only a very small handful that are considered a cut above the rest, but all of them are still very useful to have in your parts library, especially if you are new to the game or just starting out and need ways to fill your library. In particular, I do have to give MVP of the week to Tank Dunk and Kana Bun Bun specifically. Tank Dunk in particular for Tank Legs with Bullet Rain is always very nice to have, especially for your shooter types and on terrains where Tank Legs are particularly mandated. Kana Bun Bun for Bug on all 3 of his parts means you can use the ability to turn skip pretty easily and pretty quickly. And while his legs may not be super useful, the leg ability of Spearhead does kind of give him a little bit more of an edge when it comes to getting to the line during his heat phase. Everyone else, Top Gunner for, say, Flight Legs or Radar Sight and Missile, Meduzard for Freeze, Counter Guard and P-Loader, or Blue Corundum with Sea Legs and Brilliance, which is one of the slightly better Sea Legs if you're willing to raise them. Like I said, still worth having on hand, but not necessarily anything to really farm excessively for aside from just to have in your parts library. Aside from, of course, the 2 mentioned of Tank Dunk and Kana Bun Bun. Now, in particular, we also have 2 of the 4 limited Medarotters that will also be going live through this collaboration coming up to Spearhead with this first week. Starting, of course, with Medarotter Kurojiri, which is also known as Cam in the English dub, and the anime version of Medarotter Nai. Now, to explain briefly, Kurojiri in particular will negate the CG cost of meta change drive modes to 0 for 3 turns. So this is going to be very good for being able to change from turn 2 onwards and use drives that require you to have some kind of charge on your gauge, such as, say, as an example, Luminous Stag's Anti-Air and Anti-Sea require 10 CG to use. Black Beetle's A's drive mode, all 3 of her drives require charge to use, so this will be a very good fit for those kind of models. Anime Nai, on the other hand, nullifies cooldown penalties and gives you a 20% damage reduction on your cooldown. But at the cost, during this particularly super armor phase, you also have a 30% debuff to your mobility. So while you will go notably slower, you do have no cooldown penalty and an extra damage reduction just to kind of keep you alive on that turn. This is particularly useful for a lot of plots that like to use things that leave them in no dodge and no defense states after attacks, such as, say, Hyper Beam, Ghost Shot, or something of the, or even Cross Shock to a point post-patch. This is a very good way to make sure you stay protected and not get slapped in your backside from a punish because you either mistimed it or your opponent dodged, made a lucky dodge, and now you have to eat a cooldown penalty during this time. Medarot and I will be able to give you a hand with that. Both of these will only be available for the first few weeks of the collaboration, as you saw in that trailer video. The other 2 in particular will also be going live with the second half of the event. Now, that actually does lead to have cause for question, such as, will we be seeing other versions of anime variant models coming live in the game, or are they just kind of spacing them out? Because it was also brought to attention that this will be kind of overlapping with the birthday of 1, possibly 2 of our Metatubers that are resident on the official Medarot YouTube channel. Cheerful Bunny will be getting hers first, and Shushu Pop will be having her birthday just a little bit later in the month of October as well. So It's kind of hard telling how they're going to run this event, and frankly, I really have no clue aside from what was revealed, so we will have to kind of see as each week goes on what to expect, and just kind of what we can see going forward. Now, as far as events are concerned, much as it is with any other special event and celebration, we are also getting an event centered around the Medarot Damashii anime as well. This time around, with this particular event, we have the opportunity to earn the Black Kabuto Medal, which has a mastery in shooting, defense, and setup, with a leg mastery of biped, multi, and tank. We can also earn a Black Beetle profile banner, which, as you see here, which is a post-repair Black Beetle with both of her eyes working from the anime. We can also earn 2 different types of limited-time gacha tickets that we can use through the course of this month, and we can also earn 6 to 7 more illustrations that we can unlock in the image gallery, also to celebrate the end of Damashii's airing on the official channel. Now, the event itself will also be Score Attack, also what I used to call as milestone based. I will be progressively switching the names over going forward, but with Score Attack, it's going to be pure sets and courage to maximize your bonuses. Black Beetle A will give you that full bonus at 15% per part. UCsachinashi, Black Stag, Kabuto Benimaru, and Kuwagata Bison at a 10% per part, and the Fierce Battles at a 6% per part each. The SR Medarotters for this first batch, Nai and Kokoryu, will give you a 10% bonus per Medarotter equipped on the team. It'll be a 5% bonus for the standard version of Nai or SR Ikki. It'll be a 3% bonus for Nai, Ikki, or Arika, or a 1% bonus if they are R or N rank respectively. So, being completely honest, I'm not 100% sure how to take this particular event, because UCsachinashi, Black Stag, and of course Black Beetle A are all transforming models like I said, so either you get really lucky with your pulls and collect one or even a multitude of them to maximize your bonuses, or you might be a little hard-pressed for maximizing anything this time around. Medarotters will still give you just a little bit more grace with the ability to get Ikki or Nai, the SR versions, in the permanent Medarotter banner anyway, but of course, bots will always give you the highest parts, so try to prioritize those where possible. Additionally, with other game stuff, we also have the introduction of a limited-time Black Beetle A Super Invasion, so very similar to what we saw with the Karen, Kuji, and Victor Super Invasions we saw with Medarot Day in particular. We also have an anime-based marathon survival featuring Black Beetle A going live this week as well to celebrate. And we also have event missions also making another return for extra ruby shards and gacha tickets. So, while it may be a relatively dicey week in terms of gacha banners and how they behave, it still does give us plenty of opportunities to earn a lot of rubies, or even just a good couple handfuls that we can use to save for and try to pull for these models. Especially given that Black Beetle A in particular will be sticking around for a good chunk of the time, even if the Medarotters may disappear and cycle over the course of this next roughly about month and a half or so. As far as community stuff is concerned, stepping away from the game stuff for a moment, we are still always looking for translators to assist us with any current projects or endeavors. Right now, Medarot 4 is still in that current early phase where we're still decompiling it and just starting early work on it. And Medarot 3 is still kind of in that final, just post-official release bug fix kind of mode. So if you are knowledgeable in coding, cleaning, Japanese, or have some time on your hands, or if you know somebody that might be willing to lend a hand, definitely feel free to send them our way, and we are most certainly happy to fill them in on what has been done, send them to the right people, or explain what still needs done. We would love to work on other projects such as, say, Medarot 5 and Navi, or even some of the 3D titles as well, but unfortunately we do need manpower to do so. So if you are interested in helping out with that, definitely come our way, send your friends our way, or even just ask around and spread word on our behalf. Any word you can put out there is always appreciated across the board. Nice. There we go. Now, going on to the weekly art highlights here on the MNN, I of course had to highlight this wonderful piece here by my dear friend Mo and CH Sai over on Twitter, who's been doing some wonderful, and I mean truly wonderful style of digital art here, and I love the quality and the detail that they put into their pieces, highlighting, of course, Grain as they appeared in the final episode of the series with that rather climactic final battle, and of course this one here by Twitter user MNK Shiki, who decided to kind of have a little fun with the patchless version of Black Beetle, now giving her patch to Black Stag, who is now, how should I put this lightly? She looks cool. She looks cool. She has style points, but I think her visibility probably just went down all the way. But, wonderful piece. I love this tiny little sketch you did, even if it's just something done for fun. And definitely give both of these artists a follow if you'd like to see more of their art in your feed. You will most certainly not be sorry. My dear friend Moen in particular also keeps up to date with all the Medarot news from the source, much like I do. So if you want to keep another source in the loop, definitely give Moen a follow as well. One final note before I do wrap us up here, as a friendly reminder, I am always open for commission. So if you are looking for a live 2D model fully rigged, well, not rigged, fully drawn, ready to rig, you are more than welcome to reach out. I can do 3D models, fully rigged, textured, optimized, ready to go for drag and drop. I can do 2D art of varying degrees of complexity. I can do emotes. Very wide, diverse array of skills I like to believe I have. So if you are looking for anything in particular, especially if you are a new content creator that's just watching me and want to try to step into the world of content creation, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter or on Discord. We can most certainly try to make something happen with what you're looking for and try to put a quote sheet together for what you're looking for and work something out. Now, there actually is one other piece of news I do want to highlight here as we go into this week leading up to this Sunday. Now, for those that have been unaware or did not watch my finale to my Dark Cloud 2 adventure on Sunday, first of all, why not? Because I always enjoy having people there. I'm kidding. But second of all, I also did highlight on there as well that I'm going to be doing an art stream this coming Sunday, which is 9/15. So, with that, though, I've been tinkering around with my random Medarot generator, which is basically a generator that I put together and I do continually update as well. So it has all the skills currently available in Medarot S. It'll spit out 3 skills, a leg type, a leg ability, and a theme that you can go after. But I did also recently update the generator, as you see with that last one there with military, with a drop-down menu. So instead of just cycling through it for 10 to 15 minutes, kind of like I have in previous streams, I'm going to kind of settle on a theme first, and then just kind of scatter from there and see what happens. Just to kind of keep it limited, but also still within the scope of creativity. Anyway, moving forward. As you see here, I have 4 very promising prospects here for designs that I could consider. A space theme with force control, max shot, self-restore, wheeled legs, and P-loader. A Wild West theme with precognition, break hammer, thunder shot, tank legs, and gunman. Medieval theme with commander, jet blow, bomb hammer, float legs, and lightweight. And a military theme with ghost, charge buster, max shot, biped legs, and breakneck. All of these actually are quite promising, and I do have some vague ideas on directions I could take these. But I would love to have you guys help with this. So if you would like to see one of these 4 things done, definitely come, and I'm going to encourage this because I've noticed that my comments have been kind of falling off over the last year or so, which is slightly unfortunate, but I'm not going to hold that to you guys. Comment in the section, comment below or find this tweet of mine on my Twitter and comment which one you'd like to see done, and I'll see which one gets the most votes or the most particular attention, either public or private, for which one I choose to do on that art stream. Now, I will actually use all 4 of these ideas, so I may stagger them and do a whole bunch of art streams in consecutive while I'm kind of figuring out what to do next, since I've finished Dark Cloud 2 all the way through. But I am still excited to be able to do this with you and put more never-before-seen Ori metas together that can be submitted for contest. And who knows, maybe if they do actually get creative enough and we have a possible shot, we might actually see one possibly become an official Medarot. We will have to see. I'm not going to hold my breath on that one in particular, but I am still going to hope and pray all the same, and inspire all the Ori metas that we help put together, just as a way to help be that mouthpiece for the community. But with all this being said, this does cover everything though, roughly, but from my news to official news and what to expect going forward. So with that being said, if you'd like to know more, you can follow us below on Facebook at the Medarot News Network page, or the Metabots Forever community on there that I do also run, which is currently still staggering well past 33,000 members and still growing by the day. I'm loving how far and how fast that community is growing, and I'm so proud of where it's come through the years. You can also join us on Discord in the link provided and in the comments below to keep an even closer ear to the ground on the action. This includes any new links to merchandise, fan art, my weekly episodes, or any contests or updates in particular that are worth mentioning to everybody. This is going to be the first place you're going to hear the news before it goes anywhere else on the net. You can also follow me on Twitter personally at Isagami Kura, so if you have any questions or feedback or comments, or would love to stop in and say hello, feel free to reach out to me in those DMs, and we can try to make something happen. Same can be said if you are looking for an art commission, or if you'd love to collaborate with me. If you have, say, such as having you on my channel as a guest host, or having me stop in on yours for a friendly chat or a game, I would love to coordinate and try to make something happen. Feel free to reach out to me. Don't be a stranger, and we can try to coordinate and make something happen. Lastly, do give these wonderful pages on Twitter a follow as well. The official Twitter page for Project Rising Beetle, which has seen a very noticeable uptick in its participation and its activity, posting a lot of never-before-seen did-you-knows and art pieces and pieces of little lore and tidbits that were not previously known to a lot of us Western fans, as well as doing a weekly Medarot of the Week every Monday, much like a lot of other pages like to do for fun. And my dear friend UCsachinashi, who's been doing a lot of wonderful work in the realm of Unreal Engine and Unity, but also been working a lot with the Medarot remixes that are on their YouTube channel. My outro in particular is part of my stream opening actually is part of that in particular that I use from their Medarot 1 remix. But with that being said, as always, I do appreciate you all for stopping in, just as you always do. And until next time, this is your host, Kurojiri of the Medarot News Network, signing out.